The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
And he's here right now, Sheriff Richard Mack, good friend of mine, always good to see him in person, like a Clark Kent type guy. And he's here with us. He, of course, took it all the way to the Supreme Court, the Brady bill being unconstitutional, and beat it. One of the biggest Second Amendment victories we've ever had, and he's in the NRA Hall of Fame. SheriffMack.com. He's a best-selling author. He's making a film right now about getting the sheriffs and local police to wake up and take our counties and cities back. And that is the answer. We're going to get into all of that at the bottom of the hour. And Paul in Florida and Joseph and David and Empty Congress and Mike, we're going to get to all of your calls as well on any issue, because he's also been a talk show host off and on in his own right. He can speak to those issues. But I want to cover the waterfront with Sheriff Richard Mack, because he's gone to Arizona to work with the cold case posse. There's no doubt we don't know who Obama really is. There's no doubt those are fake birth certificates. We just don't know what exactly it means. Very bizarre, but he's been working on that. We're going to get his take on that. But first off, we've gone from being called kooks talking about NSA spying, because it had come out before, and kooks about the IRS harassing conservatives and libertarians, to it all being admitted, to it now coming out that indeed they are building FEMA camps, they are training to confiscate guns, that they have Army manuals on, quote, re-education centers, using the Soviet term. I mean, it even blows me away that they're really this evil and corrupt and trying to just hide it in plain view and get the police and military to go along with all the dramas, all the sitcoms, all the movies where the gun owners are the terrorists and the patriots are going to kill everybody. I know it's backlashing, but I want to get your take just in general, where you think the state of the country is right now, and why the globalists, as we were talking about this last hour with George Norrie, everybody agrees they are accelerating the whole program. And I think we're at a danger that if it all comes out in the open and then nobody gets in trouble, it just sets the precedent. And now we know we're slaves, but we're slaves. Instead of it boomeranging and kind of swinging the pendulum back. And then I'm concerned if we start swinging the pendulum back, they're going to false flag. So, Sheriff Mack, here to film and do interviews for Obama Deception 2. Great to have you here, my friend. You heard that general breakdown I just laid out. What is your State of the Union take on that for our viewers?
Well, it's amazing that a lot of this got put off until after the re-election of Mr. Obama. And you're right, we don't know who he is. We don't know where he's from. I'm not positive that he knows. Sometimes when we get into that. I would really like you to have Mike Zullo on. You haven't had him on, right? The detective, cold case posse detective?
No, I want to get him on.
Yeah.
Like, let's write all this down. Let's get...
I can help you line that up, too. But he spoke at our CSPOA convention. I want people to remember that, CSPOA. C as in Charlie, S as in Sam, P as in Paul, O as in Oscar, A as in Adam. CSPOA, this Constitutional Sheriffs Peace Officers Association.
How evil.
Oh, I know.
You swear to it, and now you're going to follow it?
Oh, my goodness.
That's
what a
dirty
idea, yeah. But Mike Zullo presented his evidence to us all there. And we just said, look, this is not a required seminar to attend his class. Just go and see. If you don't want to go, if you're afraid of this, don't go. Well, it was the biggest attended class we had. And that was Saturday after the big day on Friday. So I am working on that. We're trying to get this exposed. Back before the investigation started, the truth is the same people who asked Sheriff Arpaio to investigate this came to me first. And I was living in Fredericksburg, as you'll recall, at that time. And this was just a year and a half ago. And I told them I didn't have time to do it, and I'd have to drop everything, and I'd have to charge them. And they go, well, who would do this for free? And we're thinking about asking Arpaio. I said, he won't do it. I said, he won't get involved in this. I've talked to him about this issue before. He thinks it's a bogus issue. But when he had 150, 200 people from the local Tea Party came, and they showed him some evidence that they really distrusted about the...
and then notice how Obama came after him.
Oh, I know.
Because that is a fake birth certificate.
Oh, totally.
First, they said they'd released it. When they hadn't, they released a receipt of one that you go and print out as a computer. Like, I've had to get them for my kids, and you go and they print out a receipt.
Yeah.
The Bureau of Statistics says, here's your receipt from the health department. Well, you've been working on it. Tell people what we know.
Well, the thing of it is, the one really working it is Mike Zullo, and he's a former detective, and he's working for free for Sheriff Arpaio on his cold case posse. And so Arpaio told his people and told me at the time, he said, look, these people asked me. I said, I know. I said, I'm surprised you took it because I told them you wouldn't. He said, no, he says, just to get them off my back, I told him I'd investigate it. But I'm sure I'm just going to clear the president and everything's going to be fine. Well, the investigator did a thorough investigation, and it turned out to be just the opposite. That's when I bought onto it because I knew Arpaio was an honest man and that he would do this thoroughly and professionally. And Zullo has done a marvelous investigation. He's taken the birth certificate apart. Now,
Why would they put out such a bad fake, though?
Well, you know, I think they used a computer specialist that is young, okay, and didn't know typesetting.
Because here's how I knew it was fake day one. Okay. They used the fake system that comes in the fonts.
Correct, the typing font. Back in those days,
it's meant to look exactly. It's meant to look like typing, but it's the computer font because the letters are identical and the splats from a real typewriter are like snowflakes or fingerprints. Right. I mean, it's horribly fake.
And Zullo takes this. He takes it 9 layers. He takes the whole thing, and it was layered 9 times. And he takes it and shows you the mistake of all 9 layers. Now,
but why did they do something so fake? We found it day one.
Well, when you look at it at his face, if you just went in and showed it to Obama, he'll look at it and go, oh, my gosh, this is great. This looks good. You just have to start peeling off the layers, and then you get an entire different view. So whoever it was a young computer tech, and they thought, you know, no one went back to it and peeled off the layers. They said, oh, that'll work. So they didn't do their homework, and they just had to get something out. And
then even left it in layers.
Yes, yeah.
It's crazy.
It was not a good job at all. So you have to kind of wonder who proofread that for him. But Obama needed to release something, and he did, and they just rushed it. And so what we don't say, and what you need to remember on all of this investigation, all of your listeners need to remember this. We are not, and this investigation is not, saying where Mr. Obama was born. We're saying that the birth certificate the White House released is a fraud, a fake, and a lie.
Have you seen Dreams of My Real Father? We sell it.
Oh, of course.
I mean, that's his mom, and that's that house, and that's the photos confirmed. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So no wonder. The Kenya thing, that's why his wife said it in speeches and why it was in the Harvard deal. That was the diversion.
Yeah.
The truth was he had a different name, different dad, famous communist. I mean, oh, man.
And you know,
and Obama would spend the summers with him.
And he used
a communist pornographer.
Yeah. Now, you know he used his dad's name, Barry Soetoro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Obama's name that he used to go to college. And so it's amazing that still, even the mainstream press, even people like Chris Matthews, who give this guy a free ride, and yet we know he used an alias. The only president ever to use an AKA.
Well, we had at least 2 other ones.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, who do you think he really is? Because, I mean, this guy looks like a Manchurian candidate.
I think he was raised up for this. You know, I think he was groomed by somebody. And, you know, when you look at...
well, no kidding. He was surrounded by top communists.
Davis. Yeah, wasn't it Davis?
Yeah, Davis, but then you got the Weatherman. As soon as he gets to... I mean, it's just...
I mean, if you look at the people he was around, then you have to know this was no accident. This was all planned. There's no coincidences in this government. There's no accidents. This was all devised and planned. And here he is, doing what he was told, doing what he was raised to do, destroy America.
And boy, they are. I mean, this Obamacare written to rip everybody off and make everybody go to part-time, and it's meant to hammer the poor, and then they say it's for the poor. And then this immigration thing, all this free stuff for unlimited millions.
It's for the poor. It's to make us all poor. Yeah, it's to increase the poor. And yeah, you know, right now we're having so much of this happen that so many sheriffs and local officials are waking up to the solution. And I am so proud.
And that's nullification.
Sheriff nullification, state nullification.
Because they can't go after all the sheriffs. I mean, if they can have 800-plus cities that are sanctuary where the illegals are above the law, why couldn't we have 800 cities where we ignore unconstitutional federal stuff? I mean, they're ignoring the law with the illegals and breaking the law. How about we ignore unconstitutional stuff?
Absolutely. It should be done that way. My lawsuit was an amazing miracle, but I do not recommend that sheriffs or local officials sue anymore. We tell them no. We erect the barriers. That's the name of our new DVD set from our convention, Erecting the Barriers. That actually is a warning that came to us from James Madison. We can safely rely on local officials to erect the barriers against the encroachments of the federal government.
Mack,
sure.
In regards to this thing with Snowden, Nancy Pelosi showed up here in San Jose on Saturday and said that Snowden broke the law. 2 times she said that, and
she got booed. She got booed.
Yeah, she did. She sure did, and she just repeated herself. But, I mean, what law did the guy break? I mean, many of us already know that the TV and the computers can watch us and listen to us, and Judge Napolitano brought that up. They can just flick a switch whenever they think somebody's a terrorist. I mean, what law did Snowden break, Sheriff?
In fact, guys, cue that up to her getting booed whenever you're ready, because I'm going to keep going so we can talk to.
I love watching that.
yeah, we're going to play. I meant to play that.
He did not break a law, but he broke policy, and he broke also the inner rule that you don't embarrass the NSA. That's their inner rule. And the FBI has the same rule. You can do a lot of stuff, but don't embarrass the head people there. And so that's really what he broke. And now they're tripping over each other to try to get this guy.
Actually, I hadn't got to this yet. Donald Trump, and I appreciate your call, sir. God bless you. This is up on Infowars.com, just broke. Donald Trump says Snowden should be assassinated. Extradition process and justice system are too slow for would-be presidential candidates. So he's calling for something
against the law.
It's illegal.
That's illegal what he's doing right there. That is against the law. He should be investigated.
Well, but I mean, it's also under NDAA. I don't care if they say they pass a law to kill citizens. If the godlike, president Barry Soetoro says so, this just shows how this is authoritarianism. It's illegal. They're spying on all of us. They've been caught. Right. The CIA director brags, yeah, your dishwasher's watching you, to Wired Magazine. That's okay. Snowden goes, yeah, that's all true. And they're spying on the media, which had already come out, and the media is like, kill him, arrest us. I mean, we want to have our rights taken.
Now, actually, Trump, in making that comment, has put himself under a probable investigation. Well,
but it won't happen. They'll love it.
Happen. No,
it's like Nazi Germany. People said, arrest all these people, round them up.
They made him a brown shirt.
I mean, I'm going to tell you, Donald Trump is a mega piece of trash. And again, he only did the whole Kenya thing to get attention for himself and then kill the investigation. And that's what I've been told by Jerry Corsi and others.
You just follow what happened. And that's a natural conclusion, what Corsi said.
And notice he got his casinos right after that.
Yeah.
In Chicago.
He was broke. And then all of a sudden, he's a multi-billionaire again. Yeah.
Donald Trump, what a disgusting thug.
Yeah.
I mean, he's here saying, kill an American citizen that exposed crime.
The Southern Poverty.
Are we going to stand up for him?
Yeah.
What are they going to, Snowden's car is going to blow up?
Yeah. What would the SPLC say if you and I said that?
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.